Behind the glitz and glam that we all show on social media, majority of us have one thing or the other that we're not happy about, we're not proud of, and we're highly insecure about. You know, ranging from being too skinny, not being so shapy, being overweight, having bow leg, K-legs, you know. Special thanks to the various herbs that helps us now to enhance how we look, which also translates into helping us feel better for some time. You know, things that we have no control over, things that we didn't cause on ourselves, things that we're just stuck with. And this goes to show from the number of people who now go for surgeries to enhance this part of their body or that part of their body, which I must tell you, majority of it is from being insecure. Today, I will be sharing with you my story on one of the major insecurities that I've had to battle with in my life. And you know, this is just to encourage anyone who is currently at this phase, who is battling with one insecurity or feeling down about one particular thing or the other about their lives, guys. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is the Olajumoke Gbola. If this is your first time on my channel, I want to say a warm welcome to you guys. And if this is not your first time, you've liked, you've shared, you've subscribed, you've dropped a comment, you've told a friend to subscribe, guys, you are the realest deal. You've got my heart and I really want to say thank you. On today's video, I will be talking about the greatest insecurities that I've had to face in my life. Wow, I can't believe that I'm actually sharing this part, but it has become expedient actually for me to share it because I know that it will help one or two people who are currently battling with, you know, a kind of insecurity. From the age of childbearing, about 26 years old, I started to battle with what is now called acne, or what I now know to be acne. You know, back then it just used to be pimples here and there. And, you know, I could say that I started to take note of it after I started to have children. And it's been a journey, guys. It's been such a journey. I remember times that I've had to look myself in the mirror and I've had to pump myself up. I've had to, you know, affirm myself, tell myself, Olajumoke, you are more than your face. You are not your face. You are much more than what you look like on the outside. There is more on the inside of you. You are a better person on the inside of you than what is on the outside. For me to be able to actually get through my day. Because sometimes it has been really that bad that, you know, when you wake up and you look yourself in the mirror, you just want to go back to bed. It has kind of turned me into an introvert, somebody who didn't want to go out, who lost interest in going out, who would rather just be indoors because I didn't want anyone staring at me in one funny way, or I didn't want anyone asking me one question or the other, or passing some comments, or just saying, oh, and I know that some of these are with pure intentions, you know, saying, what are you doing about your face? Or some people who, guys, a lot of people, a lot of us have gone through a lot of insecurities. Some are still battling with it, and I want to encourage you and tell you and pump you up right now as well to tell you that you are more than what you look like. There is a better person, there's a bigger person on the inside of you. It's so hard sometimes to believe, but that's actually the truth. And if you don't tell yourself this as often as possible, nobody will keep doing that for you. And that's how I've had to go through some of my days sometimes, because sometimes are really bad, guys. I had even had to wonder how my husband, you know, copes with looking at me with how bad my face is. How is he coping? If you know, I were in his shoes and he was the one who was battling with acne, how would I feel? Would I react anyway to him? Because sometimes it's an eyesore. Guys, I cannot deny a number of things. One, I didn't want to associate with people. I didn't want to be in close proximity with people. I spent so much money, so much time, you know, money that I could have put into better use, you know, spent it on buying things, you know, mixing things up. I went into a lot of research, trying to find a cure for myself. It got me quite into low self-esteem sometimes quite depressing, because especially when you put in a lot of effort and you're not seeing any progress, it's really, really sad. Now, this is something that you can even put in effort to say, maybe is this, maybe is that, but for some people, there are things that they can do absolutely nothing about. For example, let me say someone with a bow leg that is so obvious, there's little or nothing this person can do. People will come up to say clothes that you should wear if you have bow leg. There's actually no amount of clothing that this person wants to wear that it will still not show. How do you encourage such a person? Overweight, you can still work on it. Even though it's not easy, but you can work on it. Even though a lot of people give up oftentimes, but it is something that can be worked on. Part of the things that I will not deny is that my face was actually part of the reasons why I delayed in starting up my YouTube channel. Yes, guys, you heard it. I mean, tell me, be truthful with me. How many of you would want to sit down watching someone whose face wasn't looking good at all? Despite the number of makeups that you put, if your face is bad, it's really bad. If you've been in my shoes, you know what I mean. So how many of you would have wanted to sit down, stay glued to somebody whose face wasn't inviting or was rather scary? I'm like, how is this person coping? I've seen a number of people, how they are being, trolled for their face, or how they are being trolled for something that they actually have no control over. I will also not deny that I felt a bit less of myself. Honestly, guys, I got so exhausted trying different things, making a lot of research, applying different things, it was exhausting. And because this was something that stretched over years, maybe I could get a little break of 1 week. It looks slightly better. I'm rejoicing. But, give it a little time. I'm back to the way my face used to be, looking not nice. I used to actually feel for my kids, like when they say, this is my mom, and then her face is looking like someone who ants devoured her face, or who's got a lot going on. I'm like, why can't my mom's face be like, sometimes the kids don't even think about it, but you as the person who is, carrying this burden thinks about all these things, and all of these thoughts cause what depresses you sometimes. So I didn't want to be in close proximity with anyone. I didn't want to go out. I thought less of myself. I felt that I wasn't enough at some point. At some point, even my sister told me she was scared to look at my face. And that's the truth. When you look at me, you would either out of shock want to stay glued. I'm like, what's going on here? Or you'd be like, no, I don't even want to see that. It was that bad, what I had to deal with. I remember going to pick my kids from school back in Nigeria, and I would not want to come down from the car just because I didn't want to be in close proximity with anyone. I didn't want anyone staring at me, looking at me one funny way. It made me withdraw, let me put it that way. It made me step back from myself. It's hindered a number of things that I would have done. And I am not the type who likes to apply makeup. Not that I have anything against it, but I just find it quite stressful. And maybe because of the situation of my face, by the time I put off the makeup, I'm seeing new, ones are coming out here and there. And I'm like, it's not worth it, because no matter the makeup that I put, it doesn't even show. You'll see a picture of where I went to church with makeup and still see what my face looked like. So it didn't look like makeup was helping me in any way. So I wasn't particularly up and about with it. I just cut down on my interactions, cut down on places I could go, events I'm invited to. I'm like, start putting powder on my face, and that was quite discouraging enough for me not wanting to go. Anyway, after lots of recommendations, visited several places, bought several products off Instagram, met dermatologists. Guys, one time my sister, big sister, the one who is into skincare, now said, There's this friend of mine that I saw, her face used to be worse than your own. I used to hear that a lot when, you know, I'm consulting with people in skincare, you know, and then they say, oh, we've treated people that have worse case than yours. I've heard it 1,001 times. And you know, she said, this person had, you know, worse face than yours. I'm telling you, just go and give her a trial. And I'm like, okay. And I contacted this auntie. She's way older than I am, you know, and to say, oh, so person recommended me, you know, I want to come, have a look, have a consultation, this, that. She was quite, let me just put it that she lacks good customer relations, and that was quite discouraging for me, you know, because I felt like, see where I'm going to spend thousands of my money again and they're not welcoming, you know, how am I sure that they would even, I began to doubt. At the end of the day, I eventually went for the facials, and this was me before the facials, because I said I was going to keep record of this to see how my face exactly was before I went into her place, and then what it looked like afterward. And you know, God bless one particular sister of mine who was into, you know, skincare and all of that. She gave me everything she knew that could work. She had clients that things were working for, you know, she had recommended different things. She gave me things for free. Some I had to pay for, some was for free. Like, okay, try this. If it works, then you can pay for it. But you know, it was almost like a challenging situation for her business, because it was like she didn't know what she was doing, just because my face would not cooperate. Things were not working. I had loads of appointments. I went to lots of facials. I went to dermatologists. Oh my God, and lots of recommendations. At some point I got tired. I'm like, I'm not even doing nothing anymore. That's how bad it was. I got to that point to say, I'm not even doing anything to my face anymore. I'm going to leave it. And then you leave it. After some time, you get tired. And you know, I won't even lie to you guys. I had over 1,000 pictures of my face. I mean, pictures that you will see me looking like this, trying to see how bad it is. And then I turn, and then I'm trying to see how bad it really is. I had over 1,000 of them on my phone, because I was trying to look, is it improving? Is it getting better? What's this one? Let's not talk about how the pain, how it makes you feel. Is itchy, is painful sometimes. And a lot of people who just see you, look at you, they don't even know the pain that you go through. Outside of you not looking okay or not looking good, you actually go through a lot of pain. Anyway, so I got to this lady's place, and then she examined me. We had time consulting, and the first thing she told me was that she would not lie to me. You know, that with the way my face was at the time, there's no products I could put on my face, I could apply, you know, that will work for me. She said, as I can see, there are things inside, underneath my skin, on my face, and those things need to come out before anything I apply on it could work. Now that made sense to me, because I keep wondering to myself, even if I apply things and then they go off, where did they go? That means they just went back inside somewhere under my skin and will eventually still pop out again. So it wasn't a lasting solution. I remember that I took loads and loads of antibiotics, because at some, you know, test I went for, they said it was bacterial infection. Like, which bacterial? Some people even go as far as assuming it's because you're dirty. At this my age, in my 30s, dirty. That's not to say that that is not you know, possible, but you know, for someone who is desperate for a change, who is desperate for a solution, being dirty is one of the quickest things, you know, to strike out. And you know, she spoke to me, and then she said, you know, so we needed to press out everything that was on my face first before she could even sell any products to me. And she was like, am I sure that I can endure? Because it's painful. And that's not the first time I'm going for facials. I've gone to a lot of facials. I mean, a lot. Some I left there with terrible headache for days. Some my face got worse than it was before I went for the facials. So I'd had lots and lots of these experiences, you know, before this final one. And I'm like, that was why I was really very reluctant, you know, to have gone for that one. And so she started, guys, I cannot show you the things that she pressed out of my face. And I'm like, how? Where? Who did I offend? I hope this is not more than physical. I hope this is not more than hormones. This is not more than, you know, because at some point I was even considering taking off family planning. Maybe it was messing with my hormones, you know, maybe it was hormonal. I changed my diet. I stopped taking vegetable oil. I stopped a lot of things just to see what exactly the problem is. You know, I tried with diet. I tried with cleanliness. I tried with a lot of things, spas, facials, drugs, name it. Natural things that I mix up together myself. A lot of it. Some I look, oh gosh, when I apply them, I just want to stay in the room for the number of minutes that, you know, I've applied it, because you don't even want to say it, guys. You know, so this lady, this auntie, you know, she started off and she started, oh my God, the pain was out of this world. But if you want a change for something, you endure the highest pain for it. And so she started with the pressing, and then she was telling me to look at the things that she was pressing out. Guys, hey, I'm like, this my face, this same face. Oh, hey, let me be this. And so we went on. She said I was going to do that 2 times. So after the first session, she asked me to come back in 2 weeks time, you know, for another extraction, you know, before we could start to see improvement. And this was what I looked like on my second week, the 2 weeks after the first one, going to our place for the next extraction, and then to start using products, and then to begin to see improvements. So I cannot lie to you that for all the things I've used, that gave me the best improvement ever. You can see me fluffing, you know, like, see my face is improving, pictures upon pictures. I sent to the big sister of mine that introduced me to her that things are getting better, you know, things are getting better, because I used to bombard her with pictures as well. You know, whenever there's a little improvement, I tell her, see, there's improvement, there's improvement. There's so much joy, there's so much excitement. My spirit is up and alive, you know. And then just that a lot of times those excitements were short-lived, because give it 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm back to square one, you know. But this time around, it was looking like it. It was looking like solution was actually around the corner. If you've not been in this shoe, or in any form of serious insecurity kind of feeling, you will not understand, guys. Saying this now, I'm quite emotional, because I know what the journey has been for many years for me. How, you know, I'm speaking to someone on the phone, and, you know, they keep, out of concern for some people, my siblings sometimes will say, what are you doing about your face? And I keep recounting, showing them the things I've used, the drugs, everything is, and they quite, you know, just encourage me to keep at it, you know, this, that, have you tried this, have you tried that, you know. But this time around, it was for real, guys. I was actually having a clear face, because I cannot remember the last time I had a clear face. I'm actually doing this video now with no powder on at all, and I'm like, God, if I don't share this now, I don't want to go back to what it used to be. Never. And so we started, and this is what the improvements looked like. This is what improvement looked like. She gave me products, they were expensive, I didn't care so long as I was seeing improvement, and this is what it looked like. And not long after I discovered this place, before I relocated to the UK, and you know, it was just like, making improvements. I just kept on with the routine. I bought a number of products from her to travel with, and I kept at it, and my face kept looking better and better. And I'm like, God, is this you? You mean you can do this for me? And after some time, I changed jobs, started night shift, and lack of good sleep can cause damage. And then I started to see all these ones popping out again: night shifts, lack of good sleep, because I really do not get good sleep, and so I started to panic again, like I don't want to go back to what I used to be. And so I still ordered products that I was using from Nigeria. I still ordered them, still kept at it, and I see a number of people who have at one time looked at me in one way, say, your face is getting better. I'm like, to the glory of God. And I do not feel to, recommend anyone who asks me to the place where I started, the process of this being cleared and all. And I know, honestly, for anyone facing a particular kind of insecurity, and honestly, before you go ahead to find a 50-50 kind of surgery chance to cure your insecurity or to feel better or to look better, it would have been the last thing I would do. I just kept eating well, taking lots of fruits, vegetables, doing all the necessary things to have better skin generally. I added supplements, collagen, and all of those things, cod liver oil and all. But for anyone who is going through major, I would not call mine minor, guys, because it was not minor. Because when you meet someone, the first thing they see is your face. And it could be a complete turn off seeing your face. I'm not in terms of marry me kind of see your face, but in a lot of other relationships, the first thing they see is your face, and it could either make or mar things. To think also that I didn't like to make up my face, I was like, you either accept me the way I am, or you don't, because I didn't bring that upon myself. It wasn't as a result of something I was eating, because I tried everything on my diet. Milk, I tried the vegetable oil, I tried all the things, nuts. I went off them at lots of intervals just to see if this is triggering anything or not. Guys, nothing. Till now, I cannot tell you that there's a particular thing I eat and then this thing comes out. I can't tell you that. Some people are lucky, they are able to say, no, if I eat nuts, if I eat this. I tried every single thing. I didn't see any improvement from stopping to eat something, guys. So if you are here struggling with any major insecurity, please, before you try on the going to sign 50-50 surgery like a lot of young people are doing now, especially for those who are doing it just to attract people or to, before you get to that point, I hope that you have tried several other things. I hope that you have been patient. Mine went on for years. Since I was 26 that I started having kids, up to all of my 30s, guys, I was still battling with acne up until maybe 39 years. Thereabout. So it's been such a long ride, and I want to encourage you. You are not, what your insecurities are. You didn't make yourself, and you have done everything that you can do. Guys, when you see anyone who is obviously dealing with insecurities, such as myself, a hug would do. Don't pass on insensitive comments, please. Try to be supportive. Don't give unsolicited advice. If the person doesn't bring up that conversation, please do not. And don't lie to them. And don't tell them as well that, just encourage them that they are beautiful even with the way they are. Because sometimes it's depressing. They can't even say it because they believe it's obvious for everybody to see that this bothers me. Guys, I really hope that this my video encourages someone who is going through, you know, one level of insecurity or the other. You are more than that insecurity. You are not that insecurity. There is more on the inside of you than on the outside that people can see. And the more you let what is on the inside of you, the love, the kindness, the niceness on the inside of you show, the more a lot of people will overlook those insecurities and you can actually be yourself. Thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this video today. If you've not liked, you've not shared, you've not subscribed, guys, what exactly are you waiting for? Please do like, share, subscribe, and be a part of this community. Bye, and see you again in my next video.